a Pete Primeau fan?
Thank you for having me.
Your fans are like...
What an honor to be here, Pete. You're a legend. You're a rock star.
I'm a legend in my own mind, said my wife.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I'm Mr. Selling from the Heart. What's this guy, Larry Levine, going to teach me about selling from the heart?
You are one of the most generous and authentic people around, and I think that's why you and your show are so attractive to people.
Welcome to the Pete Primeau Show. It is episode 241. That went fast, guys. It's going super fast. Super excited about my next guest. And, Fawad Zavary is one of those guys that when he speaks, people listen. And the name of this episode is Success Leaves Clues, My Story. We're going to get with Fawad in just a moment. Let's pay the bills first really quickly. If you haven't bought my book, Sell a Million, what are you waiting for? 101 tips for furniture and mattress store owners. And really, it's a book on marketing, and it's a business book. And the best compliment I've ever gotten on the book is take the words furniture and mattress out of it, and it's just a great marketing book, which I really appreciate from Doug Stewart. So thank you, Doug. And if you want a sales book, because that title sounds like a sales book, right? If you want a sales book, how to sell more mattresses, here it is. Miles and miles of retail selling greatness, written by me, but more importantly, written by my friends. Jeff Giannakavo, Scott Vaughn, Brent Batterman, Randy Thompson, Chris Tahaney, Steve Carnes, Justin Trumbo, Keith Castanguy, Mel Opp, and Mark Klingenberg all contributed to this book. And I would like to point out that Chris Tahaney and Brent Batterman both wrote 2 chapters in this book. So it's not just my book. It's a book that without great mentors over a 43-year career, I could have never written this book, and I could have never quarterbacked the book is really what I did. But here's something for you guys to think about. If you do a weekly sales meeting, you've got 3 years of sales meetings in one book, 3 years. So I think it's like $20, something stupid like that. So grab it. It's on Amazon. Grab it and let's pay the bills. Mattress Industry Network group is a great group. I believe over 2,500 strong. If you want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed in today's ever-changing economy, join this group. You don't have to be all alone. It's on Facebook, and all you have to do is hit that QR code. Everybody's in here. So you've got store owners, you have RSAs that work the retail floor. You have owners of manufacturing facilities, VPs of sales, sales reps. Great place to network, great place to meet more store owners just like you. So join the Mattress Industry Network group. It's a great group. It's 100% free. And I try to get in there a couple times a week. So just when you join, say hi. I'd love to get to know you if I don't know you already. If I do know you and you're not in here, what are you waiting for? Come on. I remember Jeff Giannakavo a few years ago kicking me in the fanny saying, hey, what are you doing? You need to join this group. Jordan Vaughn says, got your beautiful face up on the big screen in the store and the whole team locked in, fired up. I think they're talking about you, Fawad. Can't be possibly talking about me. What else do we have? Oh, Masterclass. We have Masterclass by Wingo Coaching. Guys, Scott Vaughn has been in the mattress industry for over 20 years, and he's a special guy, and Scott Bidwell as well. And they put on a great 3-day event. This one is going to be in Nashville. It's going to be right at the airport. So there is no Uber, no taxi, no Lyft. All you do is get your luggage and go on an escalator and go right into the hotel at the airport and lock in. And Scott will literally pour into us everything he's learned in the last 20 years. You always meet the best people. And yes, by all means, use code PETE, P-E-T-E, all caps, 2025 to get $200 off of your ticket. So you meet the best people at these live events. First of all, everybody that's there has paid to be there, and they're all students of the game. And you want to surround yourself with other people who want to learn. And the best thing that can come out of this masterclass is that you form your own tribe. And that has happened with previous classes. And so I can't encourage you enough to join this. I'm going to be there. And if I don't know you, I would love to meet you. And if I do know you, it'll be great to see you again. If you've gone before and you felt like you were drinking from a fire hose, come again. Come again. We have a bunch of store owners that have gone a second time and have told us they've gotten as much or more out of the second time than they did the first, because it was just so much coming at them. So join us. I'd love to see you guys there. I'm sure Scott would too. And did I leave anything out, my friend? Chris? No? Up, Fawad on. Hey, Fawad, how are you, brother?
Hey, Pete, how are you?
I'm good. I met you at a master class, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm going to be back there again.
You're going again?
I'm going again. I'll be there with the Scotts.
Awesome. I'll be there too. So that's awesome. I get to see you in 3 weeks.
Yeah, get to spend some time with Scott. You know, that man, he knows what he's talking about.
He does. Tim McDonald, I'm super pumped about this one today. Let's roll. I am too. I can't stand it. Hey, Andrew. Morning all. Good morning to you, my friend. So we have gotten to know each other a little bit, seen each other at markets a couple times, seen you at a master class. We get to see you at another master class. One of the things that I've always been impressed about you is you are an absolute student of this game. You are a sponge. You are looking for every advantage that you can get to help make exclusive furniture even bigger and better and more profitable and a better experience for your customer. And I don't often see that hunger in everybody. As a matter of fact, it's rare. It's really, really rare. So, Fawad, there's a lot of people out there. There's some that are watching right now. They don't know your story. So can you talk a little bit about where you were born, how you got to America? I want to hear that story again. I've heard it before, but I think it's really important for us to understand this.
All right, sure. I would love to share it. And yeah, thank you for the great comments on there, guys, on the chat. But so my dad came to United States in 1970, early 70s. He went to school in Miami-Dade Community College, came back to U of H, and studied here. But then he wanted to marry my mom. Him and my mom were, he liked my mom growing up, and he wanted to go back home to marry my mom in Pakistan. So he went back. But one of the things her parents told him was that he couldn't go back to United States. At that time there was a lot of weird stuff happening. So he decided to stay back. Fast forward another 14, 15 years, 4 kids later, he decided that he wanted to come back to the United States, that Pakistan wasn't the country for, that where he could raise a family the way he wanted to raise his family. So we moved back to the United States. He decided to come to Houston because he had a friend that he went to school here, still here, that he kept in touch with. And he had, so he decided that he was going to come back to Houston. So he knew a friend, couple of friends maybe that he had stayed in touch with here and there, and brought his him, my mom, and 4 kids. We moved to the United States. He had $1,400 cash to his in his pocket. He had borrowed from people with the flights and all that other stuff. So it was a struggle, right? Like that 1,400 went to a first month's deposit and the first month's rent and some groceries, and pretty much that was it. He ended up buying a car on payments. It was a 1984 Town and Country station wagon with the wood paneling on the side. If anybody remembers that, that was a good car. So he bought that. He ended up finding him a job at a gas station, and he was working nights, and then he was working 2 shifts, and then it was very humble beginnings. It's funny, our first sofa set that we sat on as a family in our apartment, my mom, when we were in school, my mom saw somebody dump it into a garbage can. So when me and my brother came back from school, my mom told Sam, my older brother, saying, "Hey, go in there and get this sofa." And he was like, "There's no way I'm going inside the garbage can." So he made me jump inside the trash can and push it out for him. And my mom cleaned it up. I don't know how she knew this, but she flipped it over and put hangers in there to make a better support and stuff, and then just put a fabric on top of it. We used that as a family. We used that sofa for, I would say, about 5 years. We didn't have a mattress first, and then we ended up buying from somebody selling a twin size mattress and a frame and a box spring in the apartments that we lived in. So we had one twin mattress set that my dad would sleep in the day because he would work nights, and then my mom and my brother would take turns on sleeping on it, and depending on how my brother was always their golden child. So they made sure that he was taken care of. He was the firstborn. So we didn't. So I technically, when we moved, about 4 years later, we had a bunk bed set that me, my sister, and Sam slept on for a long time, till actually Sam got married. So it was very humble beginnings, right? I don't want to keep talking about it, but I'm just kind of thinking as I'm speaking of, and but yeah, so very humble beginnings. My brother. So 8 years later, Sam decided to open a furniture store, a small store inside of a mall, inside of Alameda Mall. It's on the southeast side of Houston. It was more of a Hispanic populated area with the mall. A majority of the customers in there were Hispanic, and so he decided to open a small store, 2,200 square feet store. At this time, I was working at an engineering company as a drafter. That's what I wanted to do when I grew up. I wanted to be a engineer. I didn't really get to finish schooling in that, but so he started that, and then a year later, I joined him, and I've been working with him since 1999 at Exclusive Furniture.
So I have an observation. A question really. Mm-hmm. So at one point you only had one mattress set for 6 people?
Yeah, at one point it was one twin mattress.
One twin mattress set for 6 people, but then you guys moved on up and you ended up getting a bunk bed.
Yeah, we had a bunk bed for me, Sam, and my little sister. My little sister slept on the top bunk, and me and Sam slept on the bottom bunk.
When me and my older brother Michael were little, we had to sleep in the same bed. Yeah. And there's a whole bunch. We could write a book about just that.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that all it did was bring us closer. So Sam, we shared that bunk bed till Sam was 19 years old.
Wow.
And I was 15. So we shared that bunk bed for a long time.
Well, I'm really glad that you shared this, because it's super, super important to understand where someone comes from and why they burn with a fire that you just don't normally see. I'll never forget this as long as I live. we were so happy, our family, when Uncle Frank and Aunt Mary got a new mattress set. Do you know why? Because we got their old one, and that was a new one. When I was growing up, there was never any such thing as a new mattress set. It was all used. First time my mom got a new mattress set was when I worked for Serta Mattress Company, and I bought her one. That was the first time she had a new one.
Yeah, that's that just brings you, that just puts so much in perspective for you, right? When you start thinking that back, and sometimes I was even thinking recently, like, why do I just thinking about it, I'm like, but that fire, what you just mentioned, even though when you don't realize it, the fire's still there, but you're like, what's the reason? That's the reason, because you kind of remember where you came from.
Yeah. Yeah. I always eat peanut butter and jelly, and I like it, but I eat it for one reason, once a week, every week or more, but I eat it for one reason. I never want to forget where I came from. I mean, we basically lived on peanut butter and jelly, Kraft macaroni and cheese, because we didn't have ramen noodles back then, and potatoes and hot dogs and hamburgers. That's what we lived on. And when we were hungry, my mom would look at us and go, have some more bread, because we would complain we were hungry. And bread back then, I'm dating myself, 33 cents a loaf.
Wow.
Scott Bond says, I'm so excited about this one. These are two of the most elite people in our industry on one screen. Love these guys. Oh, thank you, Scott. You are too kind, especially regarding me, but I agree 100% with Fawad. Blake Iyer says, hello, gentlemen. Fawad fires me up. Excited to learn today. He fires me up too. Every time I see Fawad, I know he's going to say something that's super important and relevant, and it's going to help my dealers make money. Chris Dehaney. Good morning, Chris. I'm glad you're here. Or good afternoon, I should say. I didn't go to school to get into sales. I was an organizational leadership major. Fawad would have been a case study as an example to follow. A master at putting great teams together and always building people up. This in addition to him being a master at merchandising and purchasing. That's why Exclusive Furniture keeps winning and will continue to keep winning. He's truly one of the best, and we're all fortunate to have him be as accessible as he is to us. Yeah, and Fawad, I wanted to thank you for, you're a super busy guy. I kind of laugh when I saw VP of Operations as your job description on LinkedIn. I'm like, that's the biggest understatement of the year. But hey, you do whatever it takes. It's a family-owned business, and you do whatever it takes. But thank you for getting on the Win the Weekend calls and sharing your ideas, your successes, promotions, things that you share all the time with us, and your perspective on management and coaching people is extraordinary. And it's really, really exciting to have you on that call. Jacksonville Bedding, Mattress and More. This is JR. This is RJ. There is no JR. RJ says, this is the one I've been waiting on right here. Yeah. I kind of feel the same way, RJ. I've been waiting for this one too. Super pumped up. Fawad, did we lose you? Figures we'd have technical difficulties. Well, we got
Hey, Pete.
you.
So yeah, if Fawad's got some tech issues happening on his side, so hopefully we can get him in there. Fawad, if you can still hear us, refresh your browser, and we should be able to pull you in. Love that story, Pete. I think it's important perspective. To always feel like, even if we didn't come from a story like that, to always feel like, we have to have that perspective. Not everyone has these things, and I always relate a lot of these things to football, right?
Yep.
And a lot of these guys that were first overall draft picks, the ones that stick around are the ones that act like they were undrafted, right? They come in, they don't feel like they're entitled to something, and they act like they're undrafted. It looks like Fawad's back, so I'm gonna jump off the screen and get to the
Thanks,
person that
Chris.
everybody wants
You're
to.
the best.
Yes.
Love you.
So I'm so sorry.
No, you're back and you're live, brother.
Yeah. So what we were talking about earlier about the management stuff before I got jumped off. So
Yep.
So it's just like I just feel that we, and sometimes I some of the stuff that I share is mostly like we all have to watch back, and like what you mentioned earlier to me about about trying to be everywhere and trying to learn. If the minute when you feel that you stop learning is when that's the biggest mistake that a person can make, right? Is when they feel like, oh, I think I know everything, and that's where it ends.
Yeah.
So I'm always learning, trying to figure out how I can be better.
No, and Chris Dehaney really said something in the comments that I think is incredibly huge. That may be Fawad's way of showing that he's a humble dude. So you are a humble dude, and someone who has worked as hard as you have and had the success that you've had. A lot of people would not be humble, and I believe that when we're not humble, that's when we're not open to learning. That's when we can lose our way. And so I love the fact that you're going back to Scott's masterclass. That is so cool. This is one of the ironies that I've said this 100 times on my show. The dudes and the dudettes that don't need to be at the classes, they're the ones that show up. I mean, the first class I went to, who's there? RJ's there. Who's there? Jeff Janakovo's there, taking notes as fast and furiously as anybody in the room. Randy Thompson's there, and I'm missing. We had Steve Hauk was there. Jeff Greg Gent was there. There are a lot of really top-notch guys there, and you've been there as well. Anthony Klatt says exclusive furniture equals the best furniture and mattress retailer in the greater Houston area. Their stores and operations just keep getting better and better. Anthony, thank you for saying that, because it's true, and I've heard it from dozens of people. RJ, I am fortunate enough to have had conversations with Fawad. We have incredibly similar backgrounds and struggles. Pete as well. He is a true inspiration and the definition of hard work and humbleness. Yes. Yeah, and we are super blessed to have him. Thank you for saying that, RJ. Ramsey's. With only 1,500 square foot of showroom space, I can't display a wide range like the big box retailers. How would you recommend I maximize my small footprint to still create a compelling shopping experience that convinces customers we can meet their needs? Also in my market, rent is extremely expensive, $35 to $45 per square foot. There are hardly any true retail spaces available, mostly warehouses. Given those limitations, what strategies would you use to compete effectively and make the most of ... Chris, any way to get the rest of that comment up?
Pete, that's all we have from the comment.
Okay.
So if Ramsey's, if you want to go ahead and finish that, we'll pull it in and answer that fully.
Ramsey's, I think you're in Indiana, if I'm not mistaken. Where exactly in Indiana are you? Make the most of the space available, Ramsey says. Correct, Indiana. Westfield. And is Westfield like Indianapolis? What's it near?
So Ramses, are you just a mattress store? I mean, do they run just a mattress store?
Okay, Indianapolis. And he'll probably be in here in a minute.
Okay, yeah.
Furniture and mattress.
So, I mean, for a 1,500 square feet furniture and mattress store, I mean, what I would really say is have. So you could technically only put about five living room sets, a couple of dinettes, and maybe 3 bedrooms. Is where you want to focus on is mostly up upholstery, which is sofas. Have a couple of reclining sets, have a couple of sofas, and then some mattresses on top of the bedrooms that you carry. And then use things like WonderSign catalogs and stuff on the website that you can help people really just show the assortment that you can carry. That's where I would do. You don't need a whole 50 living rooms and stuff to be successful. I think you can do it with 4 or 5 living rooms, a couple of dinettes, and a couple of bedrooms, and because upholstery is what sells if you're a furniture store.
Ramses, can I ask you a question? How do you advertise right now? How are you currently advertising? I have squeezed together by 15 pieces of stationary furniture and 13 mattress models. Well, that's pretty ambitious. Squeezed together is the understatement of the potentially you could do some twin rack might really help you so that you can cover more price points. Okay, currently I am advertising through social media, door hangers, yard sign, Google, and that's about it.
Yeah, I would focus on social media. That's works the best for furniture stores, in my opinion. Of course, the door hangers, the yard sign, all the guerrilla marketing is great to get people in the door. But Facebook organically and some little bit of paid will definitely help. I'm a social media guy, so.
There you go, Ramses. You got some advice there. If Ramses needs more help, Fawad, can he reach out?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm
How
an
should he
open
reach
book.
out?
I'm very active on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or feel free to just message and we can talk over the phone.
Cool. Great advice. So one of the things that we talk about a lot, Fawad, is sometimes people get infatuated with the newest shiny object that we're talking about in the Mattress Industry Network group or just in any conversation. It could be product related. I think sometimes we as store owners we get infatuated with product when we should be infatuated with two things. How do we deliver the best customer experience for the customers that are coming in? And there's a lot of pieces that contribute to that. And then there's the bigger piece, to me, the single most important piece, and that is this market and advertising piece. What are we doing to generate that door to swing open? And you guys are using social media with your personalities, with humor, with urgency. It's really like it what you guys do is really, really compelling.
Yeah, I mean, so you got to find your space, right? Like, even though, like, we run a decent sized business, but we're competing with the, the big guys, right? Like, we're I mean, there's anybody that does any business anywhere from AFW to Living Spaces and Gallery and Rooms to Go, and like all these big brands that I'm competing with. You have to find your space, right? So it doesn't mean all of us are competing with somebody. And first of all, so you have to figure out who you are and who are you more important to, and figure out who your customer is, and then find your and then where your customer is shopping. So we tend to we go after a younger demographic in our customers. And as you can see on this, if anybody's watching it on YouTube or Facebook, we go after a younger customer, and everything that we show on our social media and stuff, it's a little bit younger customer, right? We have found our space. And then you find out where that customer is. Once you find out who your customer is, where are they consuming? Where is their attention? And if their attention is, like, if your customer is still watching broadcast TV, I would say you should be on broadcast TV. But if your customer's on their phone, like most of us are, then we need to reach them digitally. And if they're on social media, then that's on Instagram and in Facebook. That's where we go after them, because what we're looking for is the customer's attention. And we're not competing with another mattress or furniture retailers. We're really competing with general people trying to spend. We're competing with Gucci and Louis Vuitton and traveling and all the other stuff. So you have to show them that what is more important, right? Like talk to them about sleep, talk to them about comfort of their home, talk to them about how good furniture and good mattresses feel. How does that make you feel at home? And I think social is an avenue where you can say that and show that, and you have the attention there.
I love what you just said, Fawad. That message about making your house a home and showing that in social media, how other happy customers have made their house more of a home with your furniture. And also, how do they wake up happy and pain-free because they bought a mattress and they bought everything that goes along with a mattress: an adjustable bed base, a pillow, a protector, a set of sheets. So I love that. And, it's really interesting to me because you have a lot of the same brands that the big guys have. And so what is really separating you is your advertising more than anything. I'm sure that you've got a few brands that, I've never been in your stores. I'm sure you have some brands that some of the other guys don't have. And that's always a good strategy. And it's a great strategy, especially for margin. But it looks like, man, if I'm in Houston, this is a place I would want to go to.
It's yeah. So it's overall furniture is furniture, right? Like, it's the brands are more important in the mattress part of the world, but in furniture part of the world, it's not really even the brands like that hold a big leverage. So you have to show them, you have to market to them to get them in the door first, right? Once you get them in the door, you win with the experience, is how you treat them. Because, me and Scott walked around some stores here in Houston when he was here last time. And you can walk into a furniture store and they can just greet you and tell you to look around and then just let you be by yourself. Or they can have a conversation with you and figure out what your needs are and why you're here, and serve, like, yeah, Chris, serve you margaritas and water and coffee and white wine. Like, you can do that and make them really feel like you're there to help them and make it a better experience. So yeah, we serve margarita from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. free, frozen margaritas.
And the interesting thing at the beginning of the show, when you're started to talk about the store specifically, the first store that you opened, you mentioned to me your clientele was Hispanic and those margaritas. So, Chris, can you pull that back up? I just want to read Chris Long's entire comment. Wait, you serve margaritas in the store? What time of day does that start? I may have to jump in the car. Starts at 10. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Fawad?
So it's on right now for next. You can get there in next 9.5 hours. You can have some margaritas.
That's great. What a great customer experience. David Grange, love the focus, not to mention make your house a home and being quality driven, selling, sleep, not just a covered rectangle. Yeah. Steve Hout, good morning, gentlemen. Two of my favorite guys. Thank you, Steve. You're one of my favorite guys too, brother. Ramses, Fawad, I love your videos. They have been phenomenal. Thank you guys for the input. You're welcome. And if you've got more stuff, there you go. Ramsey says, I will definitely reach out. Thank you for this video.
Yeah. Anything I can do to really anybody. I'm here to help. And, I'm sorry I had some technical difficulty. I wanted to go in a room by itself, and my laptop decided it didn't want to hold battery.
No worries. So, one of the things that I've noticed about you, and I said this before, but I want to dive into it a little bit and unpack it just slightly. This idea that you say to yourself something along these lines: I want exclusive furniture to be the best that it can be. I want us to treat our customers and our employees in a special way so that this business continues to be as successful as humanly possible. And I'm always looking for new ideas. And so the fact that you're at a master class with Scott Vaughn and you're going for a second time, that doesn't surprise me. That is kind of expected. But what I've noticed, Fawad, and not every store owner is willing to do this, you've invested in speakers and in trainers. Heck, you bought 30 or 40 of my books, and maybe more, but you're always investing in your people. I want you to talk a little bit about that because, even when you're just one store, you need to invest in yourself because you are it. You are the salesperson that you need to invest in, and you need to train yourself. If there's no one else to train you, you got to train yourself. So what is your approach to training, to education, and to self-development and development of your sales team?
So first for yourself, right? So I graduated high school. I didn't have really a great formal education. Like I went to college for maybe like 2 semesters, but the whole time I was going to college, I was so focused because I had just started working with Sam, and we were so focused in growing this business that I wasn't really paying attention. I decided to, it's not, I don't have the money, nor am I paying attention. This is just not a good deal. I should just focus on working. So the whole time for both of us, we've learned, like we've had mentors that, people that have came along, like sales reps like yourself. Like we have there's been 2 sales reps in my life that I've learned so much from. Earl Burns, he was with Ashley Furniture. And he really taught me and Sam a lot. Then there's a rep that still comes, I consider him a brother of mine. His name's Neer. And I'm constantly learning from him. Like the dynamic that you and Jeff have, Pete, is the dynamic I feel that me and him have, where we're constantly just getting ideas from each other and learning. And he's teaching me because he's been in the business for a long time, and you see it from the other side that we as retailers don't get to see it, right? So we're learning from that. And then of course I've attended, numerous and I'm always listening to marketing podcasts. Like I haven't listened to a music on my phone, in my car in probably 6 years, because I'm always just listening to podcasts of different kinds. But as far as training goes for your people, so first, if you're just by yourself, you have to train yourself, right? You have to learn. I would look in the mirror, like when I first started. So as a person, I'm a very introverted person. Like I don't like being around. I spoof it really good, but I don't like being around a lot of people. So being in sales and being so young, like I would train myself in front of the mirror. I would role play and just try to get better and better and better and figure out how can I overcome some of these objections, right? So as we grew, and now I had some salespeople, we would constantly do the same thing. Is we would invest in our people to make sure that they're successful. So as we mentioned earlier, like I came from nothing. Like if I can do it, anybody in this world can, right? Me and you just have to have the want. So we've always wanted to make like, and we've made a really good life for ourselves. So our goal is we want to make a great life for everybody. So we overtrain. We lose people in our business is because they feel that we train too much. We ask too much of them to learn. And you really don't want that person anyways who's not committed to learning and making themselves better. So, but we never have an issue of people saying that we didn't train them or we didn't spend enough time with them and making them better. So we're a big proponent of learning and getting everybody better. I've, as far as like we do a bunch of tear downs and mattresses and furniture just so people can see the inside of it, right? It's easy for me to say it, but you got to show it. I'm from the show me state. Everything has to be like shown. Plus, I'm a big proponent of what's in it for me, right? So it's easy for me to go in front of people and just tell them what I think they should know or what should they do. But the whole goal is you got to tell them what do they get out of it. So when you're training your salespeople, you have to think about from their mindset is, yeah, it's good and fair. They should close at a higher rate. Oh, they should do this. They should do that. They should follow up. But what am I getting out of it as a salesperson?
Yeah.
Or even as a customer, like, oh, you should buy this mattress and this adjustable base and these pillows. You should, but you have to show it to the customer why you should buy this adjustable base. Why? Like, think about it from the other side is, why am I telling you this? Like, what's in it for me? So what's in it for them is what you always got to think about.
Fawad, are your people on some type of incentive? If they perform better, they make more money?
So as far as my commission salespeople, everybody's on full commission as far as salespeople go. And it's a ranging scale from 4% to 6.5%. And it all depends on, and then they make a monthly bonus, and it all depends on what metrics do they accomplish, right? And we're a big we push protection plan because we want to make sure that the customers are happy with their purchase. We push betting a lot. We play in that 25% betting attachment. We push protectors and pillows and adjustable bases. So we reward our salespeople to be able to get that. Like my sales associates can make as much as 25% on selling a mattress protector. So what's in it for me? The customer's protected. They have to make sure they get a good product at a really good price. We get to grow our average ticket, and the salesperson gets to make more money.
That's awesome. Chris Tahaney says, what Fawad and his team achieved amidst arguably the nation's most competitive market, I would agree, with 10 plus furniture today, top 100 retailers is incredible. Just think of what a team has to do to compete that hard. And they do it with high morale and smiles on their faces. Well, I actually believe that that's the key.
Yeah.
I have a saying, have fun and sell a million. I've never said sell a million and have fun. You got to have fun first, and the sell a million comes behind having fun because people are attracted to people who are having fun. So
Yeah, we had a privilege to go and have lunch with Chris, some of my sales associates, and Chris. I think it was like 10 of us. We went and had lunch at a little small restaurant, and it was an amazing conversation. I think when Chris got and everybody was having fun, and when Chris walked out of there, I bet you he thought these are some crazy salespeople. That's what had me have lunch with. But we've grown. It's a family environment. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. There's accountability because we're still running a business. We're not running a daycare, but it's everybody has what they're supposed to do. Everybody has accountability, but we have a lot of fun doing it, right? We have
awesome.
fun, we make money, and everybody knows that. Then the reason I didn't want to be in my office, because when they see me in my office, I don't ever close my door. My door is actually open right now too. Is we have an open door policy. You can come and talk to me or Sam anytime you want. I'm accessible to any of my employees any day, anytime they want. So, and because like you can talk to your family anytime you want. So why take an appointment or book a meeting? That's the way we think about it.
Well, you're touching on something that's really, really important, but I want to get to David. No, Chris, you can pull that back up. David Grange, too humble, but on point. Practice makes you refined and better continuously. Yeah, 100%. But and Jeff Janakovo, two great people coming together. So excited to see what happens next for you both. Well, I think we know what happens for me, Jeff, but I can't wait to see what happens with Fawad because great things continue to happen. And
Jeff is great. I mean,
and Jeff, you are such a busy guy. And the fact that you would jump on here and make a comment means the world to me. And I know it means a lot to Fawad as well.
Yeah, I pick his brain all the we both admire each other's, and we admire, like, I really, really like having him as a friend and somebody on my side. He's a very sharp guy.
So you touched on something I think's really important. You said the reason you have the open door policy is because your door is not closed to your family. And so what was implied in that is you're trying to create more of a family type of a situation, a culture in your
We're
store.
not trying. We live it. This is a family business, right? So
that's money.
Yeah,
we're
me
not
and my
trying.
brother,
We live it. I love
me, my
it.
brother, and my sister run the company, right? So we're family. Like, we're think about it. We're a bunch of kids when we started this, Pete. I'm 44 now, and I've been doing this now for 26 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was super young when I started doing this. So I've learned to do this business. I've learned everything in this business. So why would I, and my younger sister, she's a part of the business, and of course Sam runs business with us, but we have a very good respect for each other as a family business, and then we treat people like family because that's who we are. I mean, we're there for each other when we need them, when we need each other. Every one of my employees, there's, it's. I'll continue that later, but yeah, we'll talk about that a little later.
Well, that's a whole nother show, working with your family, right, brother?
Yeah, I don't want to. We don't have much time. I don't want to continue on that
road. Chris, do we have any comments that we haven't been able to get up on there? I know that I kind of ignored a few of them. I just want to make sure before we start rounding third base and heading home,
we're clear.
Okay, good. Well, this is the part that sucks about my show. It feels like we've been talking for 5 to 10 minutes. It feels like we could talk 2 or 3 more hours, and we got like 10 minutes left. So, Fawad, was there a question I should have asked you that I didn't? And anybody out there that you're holding back, you've got Fawad on live. Like, I'm telling you, like, when Fawad speaks on Win the Weekend with Pete and Friends, guys like Jeff Janakvo and Scott Vaughn start taking notes. Like, that's like Fawad. So you need to understand what we've got here. So any other questions, jump in. Fawad, what was a question I should have asked you that I didn't, brother?
I had something, and I'm trying to remember again. I was trying to hold that one back. I hate that about me, but it. So one of the things that I would really touch on is that you didn't ask, but is you gotta, like, as all of us, right? And it could be a sales associates on listening, or a store owner, or or somebody working on the manufacturing side, right? As a retail rep or VP or something. Is you have to ask is, what am I doing? How can I make myself better at whatever I'm doing today? How can I help the people that work with me and who I work for, and our end consumer? Is how can we help them do a better job? And that's what I wake up every morning and I think that to myself, right? That's one of the first things is, where have I failed, or where have I showed somebody that I'm not, who wasn't I there for today or yesterday, that I can go out there and go touch them again and make sure that I'm helping them do their job better. Or I don't want them to feel that I'm not there to support them. Because the hardest thing in any work environment, everybody that's listening, is the people is the hardest thing in our business right now, is to find good people that work for you or work with you. So when you have that person that wants to do something, let's not take them for granted. Let's make sure that they understand that you appreciate them, and you actually show them that you appreciate them.
That's
Yeah. I mean, that's my motto every morning is, how can I make their life easier, and how can I show them that I do care, that they're here with me?
That is huge. Seth Gibson asks, Fawad, what is your biggest driving factor to do what you do?
Seth, I didn't sleep on a mattress till I was 16 years old. I don't look. I didn't have a lot of things growing up. Like I never knew that I didn't have money until I had money. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, so I want the best for my kids and my grandkids. Well, my kids are still young, so grandkids are a long time from now. But I want them to have everything that they want. That's my family is like my biggest driving factor. Like, I want my kids and my grandkids and my nephews and nieces and everybody that's involved with us is to have everything that they want. I don't want to spoil them. Like, my nephew works in the business with us. He's been with us now for, I would say, like 4 or 5 years. And he started unloading trucks and doing recycling and working in the warehouse, then working as a salesperson. And now he works in purchasing. And so I want them to know but I don't want him to not have anything that he wants. And same thing for my kids. I want them to go through school and learn, and don't have to worry about making money. Just if they want to go to school and go be that, right? If you don't want to go to school and you want to pursue arts and music or whatever, go be that. But I want them to go do whatever they want and not have to worry about, how am I going to pay for it?
So you are literally living the American dream
every day. There's not a better country. Look, I don't care what anybody says about United States of America. This is the best country in the world, period. Okay. I know places look nice in pictures and in Instagram and on Reels, but there's nothing better than the United States. And if you get your butt up every morning and go to work, and literally just go to work, you can accomplish anything. Look, if I can do it, anybody can.
Yeah, you and Scott Vaughn both say that, and I love you guys that you're so humble. But I also want to smack you in the head with a 2x4 because you're both two of the smartest guys that I know. And you don't necessarily want to be known as that, but it's very evident by the questions that you ask and how you speak and the information that you provide. There's one word that I think about when I see you, Fawad. You always seem thankful. I feel it from you. You are like, I am so glad I am where I am, and I'm going to do everything I can to make it even better.
Yeah.
But I think being thankful is huge. Jeff Janakovo, yeah, I knew we'd get you on that one. USA, 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 American flags, God bless America. Yeah, I don't want to get off on a
He
tangent.
didn't become a U.S. citizen until a couple of years ago.
Jeff is from Canada, and he became a U.S. citizen just a few years ago. Yeah. And I was so proud when he became a U.S. citizen. And my joke to him, which really isn't a joke, is you're a better citizen of the United States than a lot of people who are born here. And I would say the same thing to you, Fawad. And my wife is from Sweden. Jenny was born in Sweden. And she looks at me often and says, the people that were born in America just don't appreciate it. They don't understand, like, unless you've lived somewhere else and understand the difference. Like the Swedish kids, when they would come over here and visit us, they were amazed at how many different kinds of cereals we have.
I'm amazed every time I go to H-E-B how many cereals we have.
It's just like they've got a fraction of the choices that we have, and we often take it all for granted. But Fawad, I gotta say this. Number one, thank you for coming on the show, and thank you for sharing your personal story, your family story, the story of Exclusive Furniture, and actually giving some really great coaching points to people. Thank you for sharing with us that you are a student and that you're always on the lookout for new ideas. And thank you for being one of the great contributors to Win the Weekend we have every Friday. So what is next for you? Like, if for some reason, we go 50 years in the future, mm-hmm. and they write something on your tombstone, what do you want them to write about you, Fawad?
A family man and a man of faith. That's it, really. I'm on my tombstone is I want people to remember me like they remember my father, right? So my dad passed away in 2009. And I've yet to met a person in the last 16 years after he's been passed away that have said anything negative about him. And I live my life with that, right? When I pass away, I want people to remember me and have fond memories of me and have good things to say about me. And that's how I live my life. And I go to, I'm a big man. I believe, earlier I said, if I could do it, anybody can. And I feel like, and I say this more often than is, I am where we are is because of God and our mom's prayers, right? Like, our mom is a very devout, she's very religious, and she's, but she prays for us. She wants our kids to be successful, and, we want, and God's been good to us. But I honestly, we're nowhere near done. We're still very young as far as business goes. We're going to continue to strive, and our goal is, as far as business goes, I want everybody to remember. The mission is this for us as far as business goes. When somebody in Houston thinks of furniture and mattresses, the first name that comes to their mind is Exclusive Furniture. We're not trying to build a business for now. We're trying to build a business for a long time, right? I want to pass this on for generations. And when I see some stores that are say like been around for 93 years or 100-year anniversary, I'm like, I want that. Like I want that, but I want it to be not like, oh yeah, there's another store, they've been around for a long time. I want like it to be synonymous of furniture and mattress, Exclusive Furniture.
Wow.
And we got a lot of work to do, but we'll get there.
Fawad, thank you, my friend. This was just an absolute pleasure and a privilege for me to get to know you better here on this live stream. And RJ Williams, David Grange, Anthony Klatt, Chris Tahaney, Jeff Janakovo, Chris Long, Blake Iyer, and Seth Gibson. Thank you guys for being here, and thank you for your questions. If I missed anybody, please let me know. Precious Petey, Happy Z's loves you. Yes, and I love Happy Z's as well. Thank you for being you. If anyone wants to get in touch with you, how do they do it, Fawad?
They can reach me on Facebook, or they can, if you don't mind, I'll share my cell phone number. You can
always
text me, 713-702-8730. I'm best on text messages. I'm a horrible phone answerer. But on Facebook, I answer to my messenger all the time. Just DM me or text me. I'm available. Awesome. Anybody needs to talk or anything.
Say that number again. Say that number again for us.
You have it right. 713-702-8730. Yes.
All right. Great. Thank you.
The magic of Chris Stone, the world's best producer. Thank you, Chris Stone. And thank you, Fawad. And thanks everybody that was here asking great questions. Appreciate all of you guys. And Ramses, I forgot about you, brother. So thank you for your question, Ramses, and your follow-up questions. And I am sure that you and Fawad are going to become friends. So thanks, Fawad.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for joining and live on this. I know it's Monday and I know it's hard, but I appreciate it.